Make it loud. Used to great emotional, now my spirit's strong. Joshua rebuilding while they got it every step. Now the pressure build down is every time I get them tested. Escaping Babylon, I can live, train to fear. Market full of idols, I just walk a vision kid. Planting seeds of silence, while they chase attention. Labor bring the harvest when you're moving intention. I seen traders worship poverty like a golden calf. Lose themselves chasing candles, moving way too fast. The wisdom worth more than silver and the gold. The disciplined mind worth more than what's inside your palm. Following up a lot harder when I say I had to break resistance. Marking levels in the chains that can't protect my decisions. Now they set a cleaner, spirit moving sharper. Every setback became fuel for moving smaller. They panic with the crowd when the headlines hit. I move like no one building while they left that hit. Discreparate and look foolish before the rain arrives. But survivors think different when they fighting to survive. Fast seasons feeling buried underneath the pressure. The seeds gotta die before they multiply forever. That's kingdom mathematics, that's the Lord. Soul reaper, patient trader eat, non-emotional trader sleep. Yeah, it's bigger than trading. It's about mastering yourself. Anybody can enter a trade. You can conquer emotion. Escape Babylon. Cycle. Move with wisdom. Build with faith. Smart action trading. They told us chase fast money, worship greed, panic with the crowd, your own fear,
distraction and emotional slavery,
but discipline,
patience,
wisdom, that's how you escape the system.
smart action trading.
Yeah, Jericho walls falling when my faith get louder. Used to trade emotional, now my spirit's stronger. Joshua rebuilding while they doubted every step. Now the pressure build diamonds every time I get tested. Escaping Babylon,
I can live, shade of fear.
market full of idols.
I just walk with vision clear.
Planting seeds of silence,
While they chase attention.
labor bring the harvest when you move with intention. Used to chase every candle like the move of salvation. Lost inside the noise, trapped in desperation. Babylon system got the masses moving blind. Over leveraged souls getting swallowed by the grind. See the charts became mirrors showing pride and greed. Every red candle exposed what's inside of me. Had to crucify emotion, let discipline arise. Cause my vans trading kill quicker than the thief at night. Jericho standing tall like impossible resistance. But faith make walls go after consistent persistence. Joshua marching even when it made no sense. The patience in the walking when you wait for confirmation. See the weak chase entrance, the wise wait calmly. Person either burst pipes or create king sharply. Now I move strategic like the shepherd with the stone. Gave me burst of giants every morning at the hope it don't fold. In the wilderness, the promise still ahead. Every loss ain't destruction. Sometimes God rebuild the traitor instead. Jericho walls fall when my faith get loud. Used to great emotional, now my spirit's strong. Joshua rebuilding while they doubted every step. Now the pressure build down is every time I get them tested. Escaping Babylon,
I can live, train to fear.
market full of idols.
I just walk with vision kid.
Planting seeds of silence, while they chase attention. Labor bring the harvest when you're moving intention. I seen traders worship poverty like a golden calf. Lose themselves chasing candles, moving way too fast. The wisdom worth more than silver and the gold. The disciplined mind worth more than what's inside your palm. Following up a lot harder when I say I had to break resistance. Marking levels in the chains that can't protect my decisions. Now they set a cleaner, spirit moving sharper. Every setback became fuel for moving smaller. They panic with the crowd when the headlines hit. I move like no one building while they left that hit. Discreparate and look foolish before the rain arrives. But survivors think different when they fighting to survive. Fast seasons feeling buried underneath the pressure. The seeds gotta die before they multiply forever. That's kingdom mathematics, that's the Lord. Soul reaper, patient trader eat, non-emotional trader sleep. Yeah,
It's bigger than trading.
it's about mastering yourself.
Anybody can enter a trade.
You can conquer emotion.
Escape Babylon.
Cycle.
Move with wisdom.
Build with faith.
Smart action trading.
Shoulders chase fast money.
Red money.
Worship greed.
Love for trading.
Panic with a crowd.
Out of Babylon.
You don't fit.
Distraction and emotional slavery.
But discipline.
Patience.
Wisdom.
Wisdom.
That's how you escape the system.
Smart action trading.
Yeah.
Jericho walls falling.
Top of the morning, traders, and happy Friday, July 17th, and welcome to the most value packed live trading show, where we live trade, breakdown, charts, cover high impact events, and talk trader mindset. Hope everyone had a wonderful day yesterday and is ready to kick off another opportunity-filled day. Today is Free Trade Friday. Join the free tier Discord. I'll have the link for you there. But most of all, guys, we do have some data coming in at 10 o'clock. We do have lots of things taking place on the geopolitical front, on the political front as well. So a lot of things taking place. On top of that, we do have OPEX as well. So we're seeing the VIX spike to 20. If the VIX can hold above that 20, we continue to accelerate. We can see what's taking place, continue to take place. If it starts to recoil back under 20, starts to head towards 1950, we can start to see relief pop off those lows. All right, so we're officially open here, guys. Pretty significant gap down to downside. We're seeing the Qs bounce off that PML so far. See if that's sufficient to hold. Good morning, good morning, good morning, guys. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Let me know if the audio is good on YouTube. Per usual, make sure to like the video, make sure to subscribe, and join our community for the delay-free, ad-free stream and access to all the tools and resources to help you on your journey to consistent profitability. So we're going to gap down, significant gap down to open things up. Okay, down goes Apple. Apple going back and forth. SPY gapping down. Let me just take this off real quick. Okay, so I have the exact TOGBOG. Okay, so are there any dip buyers? So we are selling off aggressively in pre-market. All right, you don't want to fall in love with that too much. Okay, you still want to use confirmation before going short, because that can be an elaborate scheme to get your bias one way and go the other way. We've seen this time and time again. All right, so use confirmation. Use the 20 on the VIX. Use crude 81, 80 as the primary ways to gauge if there's some legitimacy behind the sell-off. And of course, price action. Let price action guide you as well. Okay. The retrace reject on Tesla I like is all the way up here. Walmart. Where's our friend Walmart? Now that's going to give us some sentiment gauge. We're starting to see the Qs get picked up off those lows. Again, the question now becomes, is it a dead cat bounce? Qs getting picked up off those lows. And we're entering the jaws. We're entering the jaws of the gap. We're entering the jaws of the gap. So the bulls are going to do whatever they can to try to hold this. Okay, just hold it. Okay, try to hold it. Try to see if there's any dip buys coming in. Good morning, everyone on YouTube. Good morning, guys. All right, so is everything taking place a dead cat bounce? VIX is right at 19 here, team. Right at 19. Nvidia falling off a cliff. We got Google trying to push the upside. Palantir trying to push the upside. Interaction with PMH. Good morning, guys. Let's see if we can get a giveaway today, guys. I want to do a giveaway. It's been a giveaway drought for YouTube. All right, so let's get to 100 likes before 10:30. Very doable. All right, very, very doable. Tesla continues to drop here. It's below that PML. Tesla falling off a cliff. So Tesla will be an early candidate for me. Apple looking to stabilize. If the Qs start to fade, team, they give up PML. Okay, SPY's already below PML. So there's a key zone here. Okay, so let's see if Tesla can hold PML. We're seeing some interaction there. Okay, there goes VIX. VIX continues to push. The ones on the clock are the 5-minute orb army. Can someone take a look at the IV on SPY, guys? Can someone take a look at the IV on the SPY? What do you guys notice? One trade only for today. Closing them down 10% or up 5%. Okay, good plan. All right, so take a look at the IV on SPY, and what do you guys see? Take a look at the IV on SPY, and what do we see here, team? What do we see here? Apple overtakes Nvidia to become the most valuable company. Okay. No surprise, Nvidia is not going anywhere, and Apple making all-time highs. What do we see, team? What do we see? If you guys are having strikers, if you're having billing issues, guys, reach out to me. I know what happens is WAP. What it does is, if the billing doesn't go through for your subscription, what it does is it boots you off the server. All right, so it's automated. So reach out to me if that's happened to you. All right. I think it does it like once or twice, and then it just boots you off. All right. So some of you are reaching out to me. All right, whatever price you do have, I can honor that. All right, if you do experience that. 5-minute orb below these lows. Five-minute orb below those lows. If you trade the 5-minute orb. Okay. We got Palantir falling off a cliff. Palantir looking good. I'll add Palantir to the list. 10 o'clock, we do have some data, team. 10 o'clock, we do have some consumer sentiment data. So, okay, consumer sentiment. CS, not computer science. Consumer sentiment. So Tesla looking good. Nvidia, some early candidates. Meta also looking good here. To the downside, Meta looking strong or weak. Tesla, you can go with the 375s. Again, these are zeros, guys. These are zeros. Be mindful of that. Meta, you can go with the 630s or 635s for the puts. Have those on watch. Walmart, if everything continues to push, guys, Walmart can be a candidate to the upside. That's gonna be the tell. Walmart can go with the 118s, very small account friendly. Apple also showing some promise there. Nvidia falling off a cliff. Q's falling off a cliff. SPY can't hold here. The only thing keeping SPY up right here is propping it up is the Dow. Okay, if the Dow starts to fade, SPY can start to slice the downside. Walmart 118s. Okay, those are also zeros. Apple, you can go with the 337.50s or 335s. Show some signs of strength on Apple. Nvidia, nasty drop on Nvidia. Good morning, guys. Let's get to the YouTube chat. Here. Let's get to the YouTube chat. Let me open it up. Any first-time viewers? Do we have any first-time viewers in the building? May God bless you, George, and your family, health, economy, and followers in Jesus' name. I declare all people with gratitude and respect will give you the likes today. Everyone else, happy Friday, guys. Happy Ramp Down Friday. Matthew 11:15. He that has ears to hear, let him hear. Amen. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, J1P, thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you for supporting the channel. Fishman, as always, and speaking life into the chat. Good morning, BT6305. Good morning, Sid. Good morning, Vanuz. Yep, IV's high. So that means you're paying extra. You're paying a price to get involved. All right, you're paying a little more. Okay, take a look at the VIX, guys. Take a look at the VIX. Take a look at the VIX. Take a look at the VIX. Walmart starting to go. Apple starting to go. We got Meta still dropping. Tesla still dropping, falling off a cliff. Okay, the only thing propping up SPY right now, guys, is the Dow. Qs are falling off a cliff. 5-minute orb on the Qs is gorgeous. Nvidia falling off a cliff. Google falling off a cliff. Okay. We got Google also falling off a cliff. Okay, SPY. Nice bounce on SPY being lifted by the Dow. SPY's getting lifted by the Dow, guys. Look at the Dow. What's lifting SPY is the Dow. And look at that aggressive push. Now we're covering a lot of our ATR is going to be much wider. ATR is going to be much wider. So anytime we have some strength on SPY that can help Apple, Walmart showing some signs of life. Nvidia falling off a cliff. Below PML. We're going back to test VWAP. Q still weak. VIX got all the way to 1950 on the dot and rejected. So that opened up the door for us to start to push. Wow, 1950. Okay. So poll question for today is, when will you be placing your trade? Before 10 a.m. or after 10 a.m.? 66% of the chat said before. 66% of the chat said before. Okay, as the VIX is collapsing under 20, we're getting that push to the upside. Led by the Dow, guys. Led by the Dow. Led by the Dow. Especially, we got financials primed to make an all-time high. We're seeing a bounce on XLY. We're seeing a bounce on XLC communications. Memory still taking a hit, guys. SMH still falling off a cliff. Mags holding those lows at PML. Nvidia, look at that fall on Nvidia, guys. Okay, nice retrace, reject. Qs continue to show weakness. Small caps in small caps in the Dow are what's really holding us up. SPY comes into this key zone, rejects off it, see if there's some follow through behind it. Right, if this rejection takes place, guys, we do have Walmart. We do have Walmart pushing to the upside. Okay, Walmart looking strong. Nvidia, keep a close eye on Nvidia. Keep a close eye on Google, Meta, and Tesla, all to the downside. If what we're seeing takes place and structurally we get that breakdown on SPY. To the upside, we have potential candidates. We have Walmart, we have Apple, and we have the indexes. We have IWM. Okay, that's if you're trading before 10 o'clock. All right, Tesla just dropping. Tesla just dropping. Retest Walmart. So if you're looking for retest and you're not looking for momentum, you're waiting for price to gravitate back toward these levels. If you're looking for momentum, all right, you're taking the expansion, continued expansion. Okay, shockwave, less than 60 seconds. Alphabet, Meta, Tesla. All falling off a cliff. SPY starting to fall off a cliff as well. Nice retrace reject. Okay, Dow starting to fade. Q's still falling off a cliff. Okay. SPY, if you're taking the SPY shorts, the IV's at 25, IV's a little high. Okay, be mindful of that. I want SPY to decisively break below that level. Okay, shockwave time is here, guys. Shockwave time is here. If the Q's start to break, okay, if the Q's start to break, that'd be great. Down goes Alphabet. See if there's some follow through. Need the Q's to break. Need the Q's to break here. Okay, Meta starting to slide. Palantir starting to slide. No signal yet. All right, what's really holding us up, guys, is the conflict between the Dow and the Qs. The conflict between the Dow and the Qs, and SPY's inability to go anywhere. So SPY is stuck between a rock and a hard place. So this retrace reject that present a nice little slide to the downside. Down goes Meta. Nice drop on Meta. Meta, give me that retest. Those contracts now went in the money. They didn't go in the money, but they got closer to the money. Looking at the 625s on Meta. If you're taking Meta, be mindful. Got to get the bid. Okay, got to get the bid on Meta. Okay, got to get the bid. You got to buy the bid. Okay, see if Meta can start to push. I want to get that alert on Meta. Alert me on Meta. Give me that trigger right there. Right here. See one more push. Happened so quickly I couldn't even execute. Okay, one more push. Just one more little push. If you took Meta at the downside, manage accordingly. One more little push. Walmart testing that level there. So Meta, I'm looking to get the bid. I'm looking to get the bid on Meta. Okay, there goes the Dow. The Dow's starting to break out. Small caps, if you're looking for small caps also do look like they want to break out. Keep a close eye on that. Via shockwave. SPY stuck between a rock and a hard place. See if SPY has some force behind that move. Okay, let's see if SPY can start to push. IWM come into play. Meta, give me that alert on Meta. SPY, if the Qs can start to sort themselves out, SPY can start to go. Look at the Dow, guys. The Dow is lifting SPY as the Qs are bouncing off those lows. The Dow is literally single-handedly lifting SPY. Meta continues to sell off. Single-handedly lifting up SPY, the Dow. All right, see if there's some follow-through. If the Qs can start to gravitate towards PML, that can be good. Okay, Beta starting to recoil here. Start to fall back under. Okay, I'm going to take Meta right there. I'm in the Meta puts. I have to take the ask. My risk is here, close above here. Tried to take the bid a couple of times, couldn't get that fill. So to take the ask, it is a little, it is a little spready. So let's see what Meta has. If you can fall back under this level, that'd be great. There goes small caps. So no close above that level. Meta, nasty wick on Meta. See if he wants to go the other way. SPY, if you took SPY to the upside, manage accordingly. See if Meta can start to push back the downside, back below this level. That'd be great. Sitting through some drawdown here. So we need some weakness on SPY, and we need the Dow to start to fade. That'd be great. SPY, nice break on SPY. If you took that, scale out signal right there. All right, if the Qs can get back above that PML, okay, SPY can start to go. All right, SPY can start to go. I'm babysitting Meta, IWM gone. So SPY given that opportunity, IWM as well. All right, make sure to take advantage of those opportunities. See if Meta can start to push. Big danger for Meta is inverse head and shoulder here. I want to see Meta get to the lows right there. 636.50. What will help Meta's case is if the Qs reject off of this PMA, PML along with that VWAP. Okay, let's see. SPY has some follow through behind it. SPY's above VWAP. SPY's starting to climb. We do have consumer sentiment and inflation expectations coming up at 10 o'clock. Okay, as SPY pumps, we're seeing Apple starting to slide. We're seeing Palantir bounce off those lows. We're seeing the VIX below that at 20. It's at 18, below 19. It's at 1874. The 1850 will be critical. 1850 will be critical. Qs are trying to recover here. Qs are trying to recover. PML retest and VWAP retest. SPY's above VWAP. All right, so this is the danger, right? So you come into the day overly bearish, and then the VIX starts to flip back the downside, and then the market goes to the upside. All right, that is the danger we discussed. Meta about to get stopped out. My stop was all the way at that 641.38. And you don't take SPY. If you took SPY, if you took anything else but Meta, you're in good shape. Look at SPY, guys. On the day with the most amount of bearish sentiment, all right, that 20 on the VIX was critical. That 19 on the VIX was critical. That 19 on the VIX was critical. So this is primarily being led by consumer staples starting to push. About to get stopped out here. I met my stop is 641.38. Alphabet going the other way. Tesla going the other way. SPY, TP1. Qs are back above VWAP. See if they can hold. See if they can hold here. SPY headed towards TP2. If the VIX continues to slide, guys, VIX has room to that 1850. We're probably headed towards TP2 on SPY. There's a good chance. We have room into that monthly open up here. Who took SPY to the upside? Okay, stopped out on Meta. All right, gave Meta a chance, stopped out. So no follow through on Meta. Nothing really on Meta. Small caps continue to push, so the Dow single-handedly lifted up SPY. The Dow single-handedly lifted up SPY. Good morning, BLR 1982. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Took small put on SPY, got stopped out. I'll be up here. Good, good, good. Yeah, if you get stopped out, just manage your stops. SPY. Nice catch on SPY. Beautiful catch on SPY. Gorgeous push above those highs. Once the reclaimed view up start to go. And now the question is, do the Qs have enough fuel to get above that level? If Meta can fall back under that level, all right. SPY shows some weakness, possibility for double dip. Walmart, nice bounce off that key zone. SPY is just flying, guys. Look what they did, just completely reversed what was taking place. So again, the primary thing to pay attention to was this VIX, all right, VIX. So the VIX goes from that 19 to 1950 on the dot and then drops. Okay, and that opens up the opportunity for that pump. Small caps also going. So tremendous job, guys. Tremendous job. Artem. Amen, amen. God bless you too. God bless your children as well. I believe you do have some children. Meta. That's about a $7-8 spread. Look at this push on SPY, guys. So it came down to the VIX. Even if you didn't take any trades, right? Just understand that relationship. That's how quickly they pivot. Small caps and the Dow lifted the Qs up, which in turn lifted up XLK. Mags are starting to get bought off those lows. DRAM getting bought off those lows. So they gave that nice break, right? So non-bias. If you have no bias, you just take the shockwave. All right, you can care less what takes place. Okay, it gives you the signal at 9:48. So SPY went to TP2 on a day like this. SPY went to TP2. If you're asking how much of that gap did we get back, we're not at the halfway point yet. We're not at the halfway point yet. Tesla testing VWAP. Tesla testing this key zone. Walmart headed back towards VWAP. Nvidia testing VWAP, testing that PML as well. Key zone, very similar. The chart looks identical to Tesla's chart. Alphabet in this key zone is back above VWAP. See if we can hold. All right, so we have consumer sentiment in less than 2 minutes. Consumer sentiment, beautiful job, Lynn. IWM, that was nice. That was there for the taking. Apple to the downside, possibly brewing there if we continue to pump. Amazon going as well. Amazon above that PMH. SPY hit TP2. SPY hit TP2. SPY hit TP2 just like that. Now it's at that monthly open, quarterly open. So small caps retest if you're waiting for retest. SPY retest. If there is no retest, if there's no shockwave retest that comes into play, like here, there's a 2-for-1. You got to go elsewhere or just play continuation. Apple's starting to break down here. Apple headed towards PML. Amazon starting to push higher. See Amazon can hold that level. Okay, consumer sentiment is here, guys. Consumer sentiment is here. All right, let the dust settle here a little bit. Apple breaking down, has room to that PML. Consumer sentiment. Consumer sentiment comes in. Okay. Previous reading 49.5. Forecast 51. Okay, sentiment comes in better, guys. Higher than forecast, higher than previous reading. Similar to PPI, similar to CPI. All those numbers do look favorable. All those numbers do look favorable. Okay, so some positive numbers for Main Street. Tesla the other way. Tesla 385s if it starts to go. If you took Amazon, manage accordingly. SPY's at PMH. So the thing is, guys, we're seeing the VIX completely collapse under 19. And then now it's below 1850. Okay, so now the big obstacle is going to be that 18. Okay, it's going to be that 18. If Meta comes back into play, I will double dip on Meta. If SPY rejects off that PMH. So consumer sentiment is behind us. Just need a little weakness. Keep a close eye on Tesla. Apple breaking down. Scale out on Apple. Look at the Qs. Qs pushing. Small caps pushing. See Medica started to break down here. Same type of setup. Second attempt. Okay, I'll take Meta right there. Second attempt. Same puts. Okay, I'm getting at the ask. I know I'm overpaying a little bit there. I'm going to try to see this, take this to the lows of the day. So reclaim entry on Meta to downside. Does VWAP fall within my risk? Okay, good. VWAP falls. It's slightly above the risk. What would help in this case if SPY starts to slow down off that PMH? If SPY starts to slow down off this PMH, that would be favorable. That can possibly help Meta push the downside. So I like that 640, the fact that we're below 640 on the Meta as well. So second attempt on Meta. You got a very, very tight stop. You can use 640. I'll still have my conservative pursuing 636.49, 636.50. Tesla, keep a close eye on Tesla. So in this case, I want SPY to start to slow down here. If you can start to slow down here, pause for a little bit. That's going to give Meta just enough room. Just enough to start to slide. If it just continues to accelerate past PMH, okay, that might get Meta lifted to the upside. Okay, preferably stay below 640. Preferably stay below 640. Okay, Meta currently break even. All right, you can see the break even is all the way down there. It's not even at that 638.70. Okay, we did take Meta, manage accordingly. All right. Up 6, up 7. A lot of back and forth on Meta. All right, so I'll sit through it until it gets to 636.49. So you can break these lows. If SPY just parabolically pushes above PMH, decisively closes, continues to accelerate, that's not going to be favorable for Meta. Okay, Meta's going to have a harder time getting down there. It can go on its own, but it's going to have a harder time getting down there. So stay below 640 Meta and knock out that 637.65. That would be great. And these contracts might be too far out. Strike. Okay, so they need more movement in a shorter time span. SPY testing that PMH, guys. Pre-market high test on SPY. Currently babysitting Meta. Did see the double digits quickly, 9, 10, 11%. But looking to see if I can get that Meta breakdown to the downside. Okay, so we need support from SPY. If you want to have, if you did take Meta, okay, you can. If you want to have very, very conservative risk, you can do 640. If you took it via bid entry, you probably have a better price than I do. I took it out to ask, and SPY continues to go, guys. SPY continues to go. SPY continues to go. All right, so everything on the economic side, favorable. We gap down massively. Okay, no other way they'll like to do it. Okay, there goes Nvidia to the upside. I want no close back above 640 on Meta. Okay. No close on the 5 above 640. See if I can get that structural break. So Meta needs to do its own thing and break down. And time is a factor, of course, on Meta. Okay, if SPY can get back below PMH, that would be great. PMH. A nice breakdown on Apple. Last one to break out is Nvidia. Okay, now let's see if Meta can start to roll. Get some follow through here, Meta. That'd be great. Into 636.49. Up 10, up 9. See if I want to get into the lows of the day. TP where you need to, guys. TP where you need to. I'm looking to get into 639.49, 639.50. 636.49, 636.50 on Meta. Okay. Up 12. Up 21. Up 21. Go, go, go. Up 24. Up 27. Okay, I'm going to take a majority off right there at 31%, holding runners. Okay, I got Meta to the lows of the day. Okay, now I'm holding runners. See if Meta can go beyond that, beyond those lows. Okay. 27% TP. See if Meta can hold below 636.49. Okay, up 63% on Meta. I'm going to take some more off right there. Okay, up 50. Okay, there we go, Meta, finally. All right, so Meta, now if SPY has any kind of weakness, Meta can be a banger here. Meta can go triple digits. Up 86, up 90. Okay. Up 96. Up 103%. 107, 112. This runner is running, guys. Up 120, 18. There we go. I'm going to close it right there at 109. 109, 107. There we go. So Meta, thank you very much, Meta. Okay, that was good. All right. If you're still holding Meta, manage accordingly. I know that was a roller coaster. I got stopped out the first time. Again, what kind of entry did I take? That's one thing I have to clean up this week, guys. My entries. I've just been having these stubborn entries. Sometimes you know exactly what to do, but you just refuse to do what you're supposed to do, and you go with what you want to do. And that's been the case for myself today or this week. All right, these type of entries they're not gonna give you the best position. You have to get these type of entries. Okay, so this one I did sit through a little back and forth. All said and done, last scale out 100+%. All right, this nice little drop there. This one came in. All right, stopped out. Second attempt, last scale out 100+%. So able to recover and get back to the green side. Okay. So again, pursuing the lows of the day first, and then seeing if there's more. So if SPY starts to pull back just a little bit, guess who's going to fall off a cliff? Don't chase Meta now, guys. You're going to pay 100+%. All right, so we just need SPY to start to pull back slightly. So despite SPY not pulling back, Meta was nice to the downside. So again, tricky trade to say the least. Took 2 attempts, but it worked out. If you took Nvidia to the downside, sketchy Nvidia, okay, you did well. Apple to the downside, you did tremendous. Of course, the MVP goes to SPY. Okay, SPY, okay, led by the X factor was a down. The down led us to the upside, and SPY did its thing. This is the cleanest move we've seen on SPY. But despite, if you caught a trade, if you didn't get a trade, if you got stopped out, whatever the case is, guys, I want you to make note of this. What we discussed in pre-market. All right, what we discussed in pre-market should allow for that light bulb to go off in your head. Okay? There's no other way to teach it. There's no other way to show you other than talk about it and then see it play out. Okay? Came right to that 1950. You can't make it up. Okay? And that was the room. If we're going to be short, we have room between that 19 and 1950 and above 1950. If the market's going to start to bounce and go the other way, okay, rejection off 1950, 19 has to hold. If we get back at the jaws of this, different story. That's exactly what took place. All right, that's why at the same time you don't want to be overly bearish like we were discussing pre-market with our team, because they're likely to do the opposite thing. Okay, the market is a master manipulator. Okay, so tremendous job. Anyone catch Meta down there? Or IWM, nice job. IWM, if you caught SPY. Even catching Meta, this is giving me more FOMO than Meta. Meta was a struggle. Okay, but that was our first triple-digit trade this week. Okay. Can we enter now? I cannot tell you when to enter, when to exit. Okay, that's beyond my capacity, or I'm not licensed to do that. All right, this is just things I'm doing and analysis. Holding Nvidia calls. Nice. This was from, I thought it was SoFi for some reason. Good job, guys. Well, break the persistent traders. You finally got it, right? But you had to basically get stopped out all week. Very, very choppy conditions, and finally, on Friday, we reviewed the data last year around this time, and what you'll notice is a lot of times the intention of the market is just to make you waver, to give up on your setup. Because the day you give up on your setup, the time you give up on your setup, that same day, all right, it's going to seem like a coincidence. That same day, the market does exactly what you want it to do. Okay? It does exactly what you're looking for it to do. Okay, Walmart, if SPY fails below that PMH, okay, Walmart can come into play. Okay, so if one trade idea, 2 trades, Meta stopped out the first one, second one worked out. SPY also went to the upside, guys. If you have the indicator, okay, the best momentum indicator. All right, you got it here. Small caps, IWM. So there's so many things going on. All right, it's almost like you're playing. If you're trading multiple tickers, all right, you're playing a game of whack-a-mole. All right, if you're just focused on SPY, okay, then your universe is narrowed down to SPY. All right. Again, guys, let's get the likes up. Let's get the likes up on YouTube. Do me a favor. Take a minute, smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. We have 180 people joining us this morning. If you're a first-time viewer, drop a 1 in the chat. And let us know you found our channel. Let us know you found our channel, what you typed in YouTube, if it was recommended, if it showed up on your feed. Right? SPY, guys. Look at SPY. The SPY just continues to go. Walmart starting to push as well. No, not Walmart. Amazon, I should say. Amazon, not Walmart. Amazon. See if Amazon can start to go. Nvidia starting to go. Tesla. See if Tesla can wake up. See if Tesla can wake up. Tesla needs a breakout. Who's done for the week? Who's done for the week? Meta headed for the lows of the day. I played SPY today. Good. Meta's headed towards the lows of the day. So any weakness, all right? SPY is strong, okay? Indexes are strong. Meta is weak. So if SPY starts to show some weakness, okay, that's just going to drop Meta even lower. So I'm not saying chase it off those lows. You have to have the appropriate entry. All right, but that's what's seeming that's what's taking place currently. If Tesla comes into play, I'll take the Tesla 3. You can do 385 to 390s. If SPY just continues to grind higher, major level coming up, team. Major level here. Okay, we have a key zone right there as we approach that rejection territory. So those contracts on Meta, they went parabolic. All right, Alphabet not doing much, so let's boot Alphabet off the chart. Okay, we got Meta falling off a cliff. We got Nvidia going. We got Apple. Nice breakdown on Apple. We got Amazon trying to go flag and break. Okay, let's, when in doubt, zoom out. The first hour of the day is basically in the books. Right, so what do we see here? All right, look at the tactic the market makers used. What they did is this, guys. They dropped this thing lower. They gapped it down. All right, now your inherent bias is going to be bearish. Okay? And then what happens is you adopted that bearish line of thinking. And then when you come into the market, you're only looking for the sells. What does the market do? It goes the opposite way. Well, how can we tell? By using our instruments and tools that we use every single morning during bird's eye view and pre-market prep. It does the complete opposite. So now, how do you survive in a climate where whatever your bias is, the market is doing the opposite? How do you survive in this climate? The only way you survive is, guys, by not being wrong for long. Be okay with being wrong. Because in this type of climate, if you marry that bias to the downside and the market rips like it did today to the upside and you refuse to be wrong, okay, it's going to be a very, very painful and very, very expensive lesson. A lesson at the end of the day, very painful and very expensive. So you have to, when you're day trading, when you're operating the intraday, you have to be quick to shift. Okay, you have to be nimble. You can't fall in love with anything. Okay, you have to just be paranoid at all times. Okay, that paranoia will keep you alive. Okay, keep you alive. So the first hour is almost in the books. Look at Meta, guys. Meta falling off a cliff. Nothing on Tesla. Okay, SPY. We got a possible pre-market high retest. Done for the summer, leaving for the Bahamas today for the rest of the summer to touch some sea. Beautiful job, trade winds. Congratulations. Enjoy your trip, your vacation. So we're going to see you back in end of the year, Q4. Or you'll be back end of the summer. Safe travels. I know you like Q4, end of the year. Nice, nice, nice. Meta just completely falls off a cliff. So Meta, look at Meta. Okay. Take the puts there, you get stopped out, you take it again. Heads to TP1. So by the time we got into this territory at those very lows, I believe it flashed like 119%, 120%. So any kind of weakness on SPY is going to drive Meta lower. Any kind of weakness on SPY is going to drive the names that are weak lower. I don't want to lose track of Walmart going the other way. Alphabet, let's replace Alphabet with Walmart. If we do start to, I'll put another up here. If we do start to, I'm not fully convinced in the shorts unless we crack back under PML. Okay, and decisively break down PML and start to shift structure. What's on my radar now? You can have Amazon on your radar. Okay, Amazon is holding that level. Okay, Tesla's possibly on my radar. And the fact that Walmart is going the other way is very telling. If SPY cracks below that PMH and Walmart reclaims PML, okay, you can either look to take Walmart to the upside off the very lows. Okay, a proxy to play that SPY PMH breakdown. Yeah, there's gonna be a huge void. Trade winds. We enjoy your commentary, your charts, analysis. To give you guys some context, I've been trading with trade winds now for almost close to 2 years. All right, 2 years. All right, tremendous trader, tremendous experience, tremendous insight. Right, everyone brings something to the table. Everyone brings something unique to the table. All right, so be encouraged to share your uniqueness. All right, that's your edge. That is your edge. How we doing, strikers, guys? How we doing? How we doing? How we doing? Okay, there goes Amazon. Okay, SPY starts to continue to push, guys. Tesla's on the radar. Nvidia retest. A nice push on Amazon, all right. Tesla, fresh break on Tesla, has not taken out either side. That's possibly brewing on Tesla. It's very toppy up here, all right, so you're going to use some confirmation. This is going to be a breakout. Okay, it's going to require a breakout with some follow through. Can get a little top heavy here. So in this case, you need SPY to continue to push. You need the Qs to continue to push. The Dow continue to push. All right. Okay. Anyone take Amazon? If you took Amazon, if you took Apple, those are good. So during the first hour, that's what we got so far. During the first hour, that's what we got so far. Let's go during the day here. Boom. Amazon is the latest one to go. Nvidia coming for a retest. Meta, we're done with Meta. Tesla, very choppy. Tesla has been falling off a cliff past couple of days. Okay, Amazon continues to push. Amazon is the latest one to expand. We got Nvidia coming for a potential retest. You can take the 205s, 207.50s. Okay. We got Apple. Retrace, reject, reclaim potential. So if SPY starts to fade and Apple and Walmart start to wake up off those lows, that'll be telling. Okay. Who's done for the day, guys? Who's done for the day? Apple. Trailing stop hit. TP1. You can extract out of TP1 there. If you extract it on Apple, good, good, good. Apple going to test that daily open. So is this a legitimate reclaim or is this a retrace reject on Apple? We got that VWAP testing coming as well on Apple. SPY in this last little stretch, all right, has been kind of slowing down. Okay, as it's on the cusp of that rejection zone. Bigger picture. Okay, this is basically intraday rejection zone, okay? Until proven otherwise. We're starting to see Walmart and Apple pick up some speed here. It's telling. If we take a look at memory, okay, above PMH, memory continues to push. We're seeing SMH struggle a little bit, but memory is strong. Mags are still relatively flat, slightly above VWAP. We got XLK expanding to the upside. All the other sectors holding up. Apple retrace reject watch. A risk daily open. Tesla headed back towards VWAP, still within that opening range. Okay, Nvidia coming for that retest. So Nvidia is moving in sync with SPY. So what's telling is if this is a legitimate breakdown, okay, we're going to see Apple and Walmart trying to reclaim those levels. If this is just, hey, you know what, just a nice little pullback, then Apple and Walmart will start to fade. Keeping a close eye on NVIDIA here. The 205s. Okay, if we can get into that level right there. Call a trigger. So this time around, let it break and then surface back above it. In that case, SPY's test at this area has to be successful. So break below it and then reclaim it. Okay, break below it and reclaim it. Okay, Apple, look at that, guys. Bounce off that those lows, starting to push. So it looks like Apple and the markets are going the opposite way. Okay. IWM stuck at previous day close. Thank you, Lynn. Come a little closer, NVIDIA. Come just a little closer. Right, we'll come into that level if SPY can start to drag itself a little closer to PML. PMH, I should say. Okay. That's going to be key. So NVIDIA starting to bounce, preliminary bounce. Tesla sliding back the downside. So Tesla is just zigzag. Gets dumped, gets pumped, gets dumped. So it's just making it just a W. 105% on Apple. Beautiful job, Carlos. Off that PML. Nice, nice, nice. That's how we do it. Playing the reclaim. All right, and knowing that we're going the opposite way. You notice how Apple and SPY are going the opposite way. Complete opposite. Complete opposite here. Same as Walmart. All right, so these are things we identified in pre-market. So if SPY can come into here, find some support, okay, NVIDIA can possibly provide a nice little bounce. Okay, if SPY slices and dices through this territory, heads back, and it wants to call that monthly open home, all right, wants to pay that monthly open a visit, okay, then we can continue to slice through NVIDIA to the downside. Also, what's coming up for retest is that Amazon as well. Currently, what are some names that are reversing back the upside are Apple and Walmart. Nice catch, Carlos. Beautiful job. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, I'll let NVIDIA slice through that level. If it can resurface, put me in, coach. At SPY, test that PMH. I'll wait for a combination. I've been very stubborn with my entries. Okay, so I'll wait for a combination here. I'll wait for a signal. I want to see SPY start to bounce. I want to see SPY show some signs of life. Apple is still strong. Walmart is still strong. So that tells me that there's still some selling pressure left. Nice structural breakdown on SPY. All right, so if you're looking for that breakdown is there. Okay, Apple is starting to, SPY is starting to bounce off that PMH. See if there's some legitimacy behind that move. I want to see a 1 minute combination on NVIDIA. At least show me there's some buyers there. Okay, no buyers there on SPY. See if we can get that closure. If you take this breakdown, if you take the structural breakdown, break that support, you take it into PMH. That's what the market is giving you. That's what it's giving you. Okay, I'm going to take NVIDIA right there. I'm in the NVIDIA calls. Okay. So now I want SPY to hold this territory. I got a 1 minute combination on NVIDIA. Okay, so I waited for a little bit, got a combination. A little bit of, there's no guarantees, but it gives it a little bit of reassurance to know that the selling is coming to a slowdown. Okay, NVIDIA's up 7%, If you need to take profits, take profits. Up 15% on NVIDIA. 16, 17, 18. I'm going to take a majority off right there. Okay, at 18%. Oh, what happened? Oh, I ended up buying more. Give me 1 second, guys. I changed my settings here. Okay, I'm gonna take a majority off at 22%. Okay, there we go. I ended up buying more accidentally, so I sold the majority at 22 and just down to runners. 24. So NVIDIA, and you don't take NVIDIA. If you took NVIDIA, tremendous job. Up 26. So we timed that beautifully. All right, so that is the best trade of the week. Not the meta. This is the best trade of the week. I'll explain to you why. Up 30%. Okay, 34%. There we go, guys. 37. Because I let it sell off. Okay, there's a proper entry model. I let it sell off, not buying it there. Let it resurface and then take it. Up 47%, guys. 50%. TP where you need to on NVIDIA. Okay, I'll close it out right there at 39%. Okay, there we go. 50% at peak. I'm done with NVIDIA right there. And that was a gorgeous trade. If you're still holding NVIDIA, manage accordingly. But that is the entry model that we want to do. That's that I want to take. All right, that type of model is what I'm seeking. For some reason, again, it's just me getting in my own way. Right, you have to be a constructive, harsh critic to yourself. All right, what I mean by constructive is harsh, meaning you're gonna have standards, but you want to be constructive at the same time, where you just don't be your worst enemy. All right, so this type of model is what works this week. It breaks below it, resurfaces. We saw this in May. All right, what I've been doing is I've been very impatient in taking it there, and I'll get stopped out and not have to re-engage. All right, so when I break it down, what I'm probably attempting is trying to get those contracts at a cheaper price, and then see if I can get a pop to the upside. Okay, so congratulations if you took NVIDIA. All right, and now will be the last trade of the day. Last trade of the day, last trade of the week. So NVIDIA 50+%. If you're still holding, you're more than that. We got stopped out first trade on Meta, second trade at peak with runners, 120+%. Okay, so a great way to close out the week with a strong trade on NVIDIA, doing the right thing. And you can see we were talking through it, walking through it. We use SPY as a proxy as well. Okay, this is what you call proxy trading. Okay, and you don't take NVIDIA? And you don't take NVIDIA? If you didn't, hopefully you saw the demonstration and you learned something from that trade. So thank you very much, NVIDIA. Okay. All right, so SPY starting to fade. Textbook entry there. And these are normal ebbs and flows you go through as a trader. Okay, the ebbs and flows. You have to be able to withstand the ebbs and flows, guys. Again, guys, let's get the likes up on YouTube. Make sure to like the video. Make sure to subscribe. Make sure to subscribe. If you're still babysitting NVIDIA, manage accordingly. If you waited for shockwave, okay, just being patient, it will come to your radar. All right, so make sure to get shockwave. If you took PMH retest on SPY, that's also a legitimate scalp. Okay, so again, you got to pick your spots. You can take the breakdown. If you take the breakdown, what are you targeting? That PMH. Okay, This PMH more than likely, guys, if I throw an EMA on there, this PMH more than likely aligns with that 9 EMA on the 5. Okay, this more than likely aligns with that 9 EMA on the 5. Sometimes you can just feel it. Let me see. Yeah, right there. So it aligns slightly in the jaws of the 9, so reclaim that 9. Okay, so the one thing is now, guys, we're trading second shift already. Okay, time goes by fast if you're having fun. We know that saying, and I'm having a tremendous time here. Okay, so you can see we're jammed in this territory now. So it gave us what we needed. If you're waiting for expansion, we finally got expansion. How do we know this? We've been talking about expansion. Okay, no expansion. All right, just a breakout, quick scalp, scale out. Expansion means at least TP1. No expansion. Okay, the reason why I hit the TP1 here is because the targets are very short. The range is very tight, but you can see there's no massive breakout with momentum. Okay, like same thing. That was on Tuesday. All right, so where's Monday? Shenanigans. So today, the last day of the week, when 99.9% of traders are checked out, 99.9% of traders are mentally exhausted, right? They give the cleanest and simplest action. But by this time, the trader's mindset, the trader psychology has been beat up, has been bullish bias, bearish bias, left, right, up, down, you name it. Neutral. All right, you've been spun around so many times. Okay, when the spinning stops, it's hard for you to have orientation. You're going to be stumbling all over the place. So the question becomes, how do you mitigate this? How do you avoid the market spinning you around? Right, the only answer is, guys, just taking it day by day. Making the market prove to you what the bias is for that particular shift. Shift to shift framework. Trade by trade framework. All right, just trying to do the best you can in each individual trade, even when things are not going in your favor. Okay. All right, so that's going to be the primary thing for today, guys, or this week. That's a big lesson for this week. All right, and that's exactly what July is designed to do. That's what July is designed to do. Okay. All right, NVIDIA. You take profits, tremendous. If you don't take profits, okay, you have about 50% opportunity. $1.37 push. Okay, that's not even a scale out, guys. That's a TP. That's a scalp, a 50% scalp. Okay, what I liked about NVIDIA is this test of this key zone fueled that break. And I use this 1 minute combo as the entry. Okay, what happens after the fact is no longer our concern. Look at Meta. Same thing with Meta, guys. Okay, same thing with Meta. We get stopped out here. Re-engage. Works out. Goes to TP1. Once I'm out of the trade, I have no intentions of re-engaging at this particular juncture, right? Because I'm done. NVIDIA, same thing. You take the calls there, you get scale out. If you missed it, you wait. But what do we need? We notice that NVIDIA is moving alongside the market. So as the market is pushing, NVIDIA is pushing. So we need to pull back on SPY. So the two things are here. You can take this bounce on SPY or take the bounce on NVIDIA. Okay, bounce on SPY or bounce on NVIDIA. So we use the bounce on SPY as a proxy to take the bounce on NVIDIA. Okay. That's going to be the biggest takeaway, guys. The biggest takeaway this week. All right. The cool thing is we have a weekend coming up. Okay. So over the weekend, make the proper adjustments. All right. I'm looking to adjust my entry model, the way I'm entering trades, being a little more patient. Right. And I think it just came right out the gate from the week. Right out the gate from the week, I was just taking more and more trades. So dialing a little more, reducing the frequency, increasing the quality, and really using the model, the entry model that works best in this condition. That'll be the primary adjustments I look to make. All right, so before you do log off, guys, make sure let us know what you're looking to, what areas of your game you're looking to improve, adjust. All right, regardless of this, your best week, worst week, green week, red week, break even week, no trades. Okay, always go into the weekend looking to adjust or improve one thing. All right, so you can adapt to what the market is doing. If you don't adapt, you get left behind. Amazon also a standout here. If you took Amazon, congratulations. Okay, this is an old level. Okay, so that was brought. So if you took Amazon here, you can take it to the upside for nice double-digit scalp. If you held through, you had to sit through a little bit of drawdown. If you decide to re-engage after resurfacing, okay, reclaiming, all right, then you got it to TP1. So Amazon was on the radar. Okay, so think of this section as the radar strikers. All right, you guys are very familiar with it. This on the left of our screen, that's basically the radar. Nice close out the way to close out the week. Nvidia all out 20%. Good. Great job. Real quiet. Nice catch. Okay, we always have to try to close strong. All right. What happened yesterday stays yesterday. Okay, Nvidia trying to resurface one more time as SPY does this maneuver. Okay, traps those shorts right here. Looks like a pre-market high breakdown. And just squeezes to the upside. Okay, look at that. Look at this. Look at this, guys. Look at that squeeze. Let's take a look at it on the 30-second. Okay, it drops below. And then whoosh. All the stops hit. All the stops hit or short covering. That was a nice squeeze right there. What does that do? That leads to Nvidia reclaiming. All right, so now, if there's a legitimate push into the highs of the day, Walmart breakdown brewing if you're still in the market looking for opportunities. If you're done for the day, tremendous job. Okay, tremendous job if you're done for the day. Green week, tremendous job, Freddie. Need to improve on trying not to will the market to move. Falling in love with concept/level 100%. That is a great adjustment, and we all can fall victim to that, right? We want the market to do something. Right? I like to use the analogy as the market being the ocean. Right? There's no one that can tell the ocean what to do. All right, no person alive can tell the ocean, okay, you know what, waves, stop. Outside of our Lord and Savior. Right? But you and I, we can go in the middle of the ocean and we can say stop to the waves. All right, that waves are going to continue. So we have to work with the environment. We have to be on the same page with the ocean. We have to study how it moves and wait for favorable conditions, because it's going to win every time. So same thing with SPY, right? When we try to force something on the chart, when we try to force something to take place, there's nothing we can do to impact the candles. Okay, we got that PMH right there. So what kind of decision do we get? So the conditions are completely different, guys. Conditions have completely changed. They shifted. First shift, nice expansion. Second shift, there's a lot of FOMO. All right, so a lot of people, just think about it like this. How many people were short coming to the day? What does the market do? The exact opposite. Not only does it do the opposite, it's an exaggerated push that we've never seen all week. Okay, so now what are participants left with? Okay, we made this massive move, and then now they're trying to relive this massive move here. Okay, they're trying to relive this missed opportunity because they were thinking short. It goes the opposite way. All right, and then now they're trying to relive what took place here in second shift. Okay, but the thing is, this is two different times. All right, it's already shifted. Okay, the storm passed. Now it's just calm seas. All right. So that's why it's so important to try to be. You can't be ahead of the market, but try to be as close as possible with the market. Because if you're behind, you're going to get left behind. Unless Laura tells you to go to the middle ocean and tell the waves to stop. Okay, so Nvidia chopping around here. We have Walmart. Okay, on the verge. We have Meta making new lows. Meta's headed towards that 630. All right, so today we're wrapping up before 11 o'clock. Let's get the likes up on YouTube, guys. We have 170 people joining us this morning. Only 60 likes, guys. Only 60 likes. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Let's get to 6K subs. 6K subs by the end of the month is our goal. And it can only be done with the help of our viewers. Okay, so if you haven't subscribed already, make sure to do so. Close to 70% of the people that tune in are not subscribed, so make sure to do so. Met another leg lower. Okay, puts on Walmart. So the next name for the retest. Now, if you're looking for the retest, if you're in the market for a retest, okay, of course you have the SPY retest and the small caps retest. All right, but the individual name, ticker symbol AMZN, Amazon. Keep a close eye on that. Okay, do your due diligence. All right, apply your technical aptitude to that territory. Okay, we have that weekly. That we have the monthly open right here. Monthly open right here. VWAP right there. What are the chances that the VWAP coincides with that 50? Okay, so the 50-50 is in this area. Okay, very close to VWAP. Very close to VWAP. Very, very close to VWAP. So Amazon next retest, Walmart potential breakdown. We have Apple at VWAP. If you're a VWAP trader, Tesla not doing much. So it looks like the trade of the day is Meta. Meta is the trade of the day. And I would say Nvidia is the execution of the day. Although Meta did provide a better opportunity, better return, I would say Nvidia execution as far as the entry is concerned was the execution I was looking to capitalize on, the entry amount I was looking to capitalize on all week. Okay. And we have 2 more weeks, guys. 2 more weeks, and it will be the end of the week, end of the month. It will be the end of the month. Here we go. Right, just like that. The trickery is here. Okay, that breakdown already took place. So this is the channel that we're following currently. There's the path that we're taking until we get a breakout or a breakdown. So what does this look like? Okay, what does this look like, guys? If we take this into consideration, take this channel into consideration, what does that look like? Okay, what does it look like, guys? A lot of shenanigans in that channel. So this thing wants to get back that daily open, that monthly open. I want to get comfortable trading SPY like I trade IWM. I would like to increase the size of contracts purchased as well. I did break my rule yesterday of trading the afternoon, but it was a good trade. Yeah, so over time, you start to build a comfortability with SPY. The cool thing with IWM, it kind of just moves on sentiment, but what makes up IWM is completely different than what makes up SPY. So SPY, for those momentum moves, it needs synchronized buying, synchronized selling across the Dow and the Qs. Right, but IWM uniquely can kind of do its own thing, but the sentiment of the other names can also impact it. Alright, so SPY has been tricky to navigate SPY in these months, but SPY will start to correct itself, provide more clean opportunities. Alright, once we start to get out of the summer months, that's a tremendous thing to do to expand your trading. Okay. So we're back at that monthly open. So this monthly open, if you take a look at that monthly candle, it's leaning towards being a doji. And what is the VIX doing? So VIX 18 bounce. If it starts to bounce off that 18, where does that have room to? 1850. Okay, if it rejects off 1850, we start to bounce off some levels. If it slices and dices above 1850, SPY continues to fall. Okay. Fall into where? Possibly VWAP. But first, we're addressing that monthly open. Okay. 85% QQQ puts. Beautiful job on QQQ Turbo. Let me see. 85%. All right, so you probably got this stretch right here. All right, I would say possibly this rejection off this resistance at that weekly downside breaker. Right, there was one area we want to pay attention to on the Qs. this morning, guys, and look where it was. The Qs retrace reject off this weekly downside breaker and that PMH. So your entries may be in this territory. This to me looks like a nice 85% stretch. Or it could even be that PMH. It could even be from that PMH. So tremendous job. Nice catch, especially with having the confidence to take it in the face of the strength, right? That's tremendous, right? Maybe we can get that continued break. So having that conviction, you get compensated for your conviction. Nice, 85%. So SPY pulling back. What is VIX doing? VIX bouncing off what level, guys? All right, when the VIX is above 17, 18, it starts to move nicely, right? The volatility increases. So what does volatility mean? Okay, this is how volatile something is, how frequently it does this. It goes up, down, up, down. So when the volatility starts to increase, okay, of course the IV starts to get a little more expensive, but it gives us a little more room to operate. That's why we don't want there to be no volatility. All right, so we talk about how volatility is a double-edged sword. It takes some getting used to, it takes some understanding how to use it, but when it's there, you can use it as a tool. Meta, guys, Meta's looking to crack. It's cracked 630 already. Hit that 626. I don't even want to look at those contracts. So those Meta contracts, let's go back real quick. Those last ones. Okay, I had them at 69. They got to $3.80. They went from $69 per contract to $3.80. My last TP was $1.32. So they kept running. But again, you have to sit through this, deal with a couple of headaches here and there. All right, so now we're starting to fade once again. Imagine if we just give up this entire push to the downside and then really start the structural breakdown. All right, what are we rejecting off of on SPY? We just tap this rejection zone. And look at this candle, guys. Look at these two candles. Okay, this candle here. This is what you call your classic broadening formation. This candle here. These two hourly candles created this massive range. We came into this territory. We rejected off this that rejection zone. So now this is what it looks like on the lower time frame. We're basically approaching the midpoint. Okay, these are the areas of exhaustion. These are the areas of exhaustion. Points where it can start to reverse. Okay. So now we broke the support of this channel. We're even weaker because this is a bearish channel. Now we broke that support and we're headed towards this VWAP. So we continue to make lower lows, lower lows, lower lows, lower highs, So we'll keep this resistance intact, and we can start to adjust the support because the support is more steeper. Okay, let's get the likes up on YouTube, guys. Let's get the likes up. Let's get to 150 likes. I stopped myself from buying calls. Thank you for showing the channel. Absolutely. Look at Meta. Yep, Meta was our first idea this morning. $200% on Nvidia. I like every morning. I like how you analyze the market. It helped me learn the losses I take on my own. Absolutely. I go through a lot of circumstances where everything is aligned. My strategy, my strategy, my confirmation candle. I get in, and the trade candle changes last few seconds. A new candle reverses. Any advice? So sometimes the nature of things is it's when you have your high probability setups. Right, the key word is probability. Right, so it's not going to work 10 out of 10 times, but it's high probability. So if it can at least work 6 out of 10 times, you'd be in good shape. Ideally, of course, you want to strive for something higher. I would say if you get into the trade, you use all your confirmation, you dot all your I's and cross all your T's, and it doesn't work in your favor, right? The two questions: what time frame are you using? What time frame do you see the idea, right? And what time frame are you using to enter? Actually, 3 questions. And are you waiting for candle closure? So what I'm noticing this week is letting the candle close is a really good additional confirmation to add. Right? So if you can answer those 3 things, right, you probably will have a good idea of what the answer is. Right? Because sometimes what happens is where you can be too lasered in on the lower time frame and kind of misjudge what's going on in the higher time frame. Right, and waiting for that candle closure for entry, you're going to pay a little bit more. Okay, you're not going to get the exact bottom, but again, that's the confirmation tax. Think of it like confirmation tax. You're paying a little bit more, like Nvidia here. I'm using Nvidia, which is a good example. So what I've been doing all week, all right, think of it like this. You have a level. Same idea, okay? So I want you guys to distinguish the difference between trading strategy and entry models. They're 2 different things. Okay? A trading strategy tells you when and where to take your trade. Entry model tells you, okay, how. Okay, how to take your trade, where your entry is. Okay, where you're going to take it. So this week, this logic applies both for the puts and the calls. These entries haven't had much success. Why? Because the market is whipsawing a little more and diving a little deeper, stopping out, and then going. Okay, so what had success this week, same strategy, okay, but different entry model. What had success this week is, okay, instead of taking this, let it dump, and then sort itself out. After it sorts itself out, when it starts to resurface, you take the entry on closure. But, okay, let's think about it from a contract standpoint. Okay, let's just say the contracts are $1 here. The contracts are $1. If you're buying the contracts here, okay, and it's a red candle, you're going to get the contracts at $1. You're going to get the contracts at their relative lows at that particular juncture. Because you're buying them in the face of weakness for the calls, contracts will be cheap. So in the instant that it bounces, you're already in the green fairly quickly. All right? So this model works, but this entry model works, but the probability has been very low in these whipsaw conditions. Okay, so the adjustment is here. So in this case, when it starts to reclaim, you're going to get the contracts, they're going to start to appreciate in value. So you might pay 105, 106, 104, 107. But you're paying a little more for confirmation. Same strategy. Right? So this one has been more favorable because it allows you to kind of block out some of this noise. Right? So this is the difference between a strategy and the way you enter the trade is the entry model. Those are two separate things. Right? A strategy doesn't tell you how to enter. Think of strategy as this bigger, a larger idea. All right, say my strategy is okay. 9 EMA bounce, bull flag. How do I enter? Because your entry will tell you where you're entering, where your risk is, and where your potential TPs are. So this week, it's been favoring this. So it's not to say that this doesn't work. It's to say that to get this to work, right, you're getting stopped out a lot. Right? It's not to say that this is perfect, but the frequency you're getting stopped out, okay, is lower. There's been a lot of whipsaw action. So it's same strategy, different entry model. Okay, and I'll illustrate that with Meta. All right, so Meta, our first idea of the day. So in the case where you do get stopped out, if it starts to resurface and you like it, I got to take it again. That's my approach, right? So let me a case in point right here. So think of this. I liked Meta to the downside. I didn't get the breakdown, but as it was showing some strength, I just shorted it right here. Okay, so that is basically what I just talked about. That the model where the puts are relatively cheap here because we're buying the face of strength in comparison to buying it there, right? But this model hasn't been working out that much during the season. All right, so this is I even said it out loud. I want to take that breakdown, but again, being stubborn, I took it there. Where do I get stopped out? I get stopped out here. All right, so I could have saved, of course, this is in hindsight, okay, because I could have saved myself just by letting it completely collapse. Okay, the 100+% breakdown was there, right? But instead of allowing this trade to recover this trade, and then having some, okay, allowing it to fully break down so you don't have to be in recovery mode. Okay, so you can see the difference. So we get this reclaim, continue to push this one, it breaks back the downside, puts, signals are there. I take the puts, I sit through a little bit of drawdown, the nature of Meta, the spreads I took to ask, and then it gets that breakdown. Okay, so we did a better job with NVIDIA here. And that is what makes people strategy hop. So in NVIDIA, so we talked about this in real time. We talked about what our intentions are. You can go back and rewind. All right, we're basically talking through it out loud. All right, it serves multiple purposes. Okay, of course it helps the viewers. It helps you guys get trained, and also it helps me because I have to stick to it. So in this case, we slice under it. All right. So I don't want it. I want to just let it slice under it. If it bounces, so be it. But I'm fixated on getting the reclaim. I get the reclaim. Okay, price action combo, wait for the candle to close. Calls come in, 50+% opportunity. Okay, so what happens in these conditions is don't be discouraged and just completely throw your strategy out the window and try to overhaul a lot of stuff. That's what the market is going to try to make you do. But what's really the challenge is the fine details. How well do you know your system? Right, and just modifying some fine details about your system. Right, so it just requires a little bit of detail. Okay, so that's what I'm looking to adjust going into next week. Okay, make that adjustment. So you have to understand the difference between a strategy and an entry model. How do you enter? Okay. Pre-market prep, guys, is with our Discord. So if you've been in our Discord, so folks on YouTube, you see, let me show you what you see. You see our screen, and then folks on Discord, right, they see my full screen. Okay, they see my full screen. YouTube is just a small preview, all right? This is the radar. So these are the names that I'm looking to take. It's the names that are available for you to potentially entertain. All right, you can see Amazon or Nvidia, Apple, Tesla, Meta on this side. If I'm in a position, you can see the entry. And of course, you have a couple of other names here, a couple of other names here. On YouTube, you just see this. Okay, so YouTube, you see this. Our members see the radar here, some potential setups. All right, so you have an option of taking some of those names there if they make sense to you. You have an option of looking at SPY. You have an option of all those names, and then you do your due diligence, define your risk, and take the trade that aligns with your plan. All right, so that's what our members see. So that also, we do have pre-market prep as well every morning. Pre-market prep, we get started at 9 a.m. At 9 a.m. All right, so what I do is I try to send out the game plan before 8 a.m. Eastern. All right, 8 a.m. Eastern, we have basically a working copy of the game plan. All right, what is the game plan? The game plan is simply levels, okay, and zones that we're paying attention to. All right, we know between 8 a.m. and 9:30 a lot of things can change. All right, so it's a working copy of what's taking place, and then based on this, we go into the pre-market prep, and we dive into this, and we factor in what's going on between that time and that particular time of pre-market. Okay, but you can see we made a move off this rejection zone. Okay, the levels are there. All right, so you get the pre-market prep, mark out those levels, mark out those zones, and then we do the pre-market prep stream where we cover bird's eye view. Okay, thorough breakdown. We cover some of the activity that took place previous day. We cover some of the things that are taking place in pre-market, and we go over some chart requests, and I share some ideas that I potentially see on individual names. All right, all within 20 minutes. So by the time market opens up, okay, we're just ready to execute. The hardest thing is following the game plan sometimes. Following the game plan and executing the game plan. Okay, so there's a lot that goes into it that you don't see on YouTube, right? So by no means are we just coming here and just clicking random buttons and YOLOing 0 DTEs and then see how things play out. Okay, there's a method to the things we're doing, and that method doesn't change. If we're at all-time highs, we do the same thing. If we're at 52-week lows, we do the same thing. If we're in a bear market, we do the same thing. Okay? So regardless of administration, situation, geopolitical, political, who the Fed chair is. All right. The approach does not change, for me at least. That's the essence of a system. Okay, you can tweak components, but the system itself, you can improve different elements, right? But if you have a working system, you're not constantly overhauling the system. And we go through that every single day. Now, by now, our team has a great understanding on how to use all the tools and understand the relationship, the dynamic relationship between all those indexes, between the tools we like to use. Okay, and that's the point. That's the point, guys. Okay, so you do have access to that in the community. Now, pre-market prep is in the Discord. So if you're looking to join, click the link pinned in the chat. Link pinned in the chat. Next week is a great week to get started. All right, fresh week. You can also scan the code on the screen. All that is available to you. Any questions, guys, as we close in on third shift, I should say. Any questions, guys? Any questions on Discord? $85%, good. 13%, quick $500, good. So 50 channel support, relative channel support there. EMA VWAP bounce. 50% retrace, 50 plus VWAP. All right, if you're taking that bounce, you have that bounce, you're just basically scalping that bounce. It's more than sufficient, guys. That's 89 cents, 90 cents. If you want to use runners to position yourself for a potential break, you can, because you're catching it off the lowest low. Right, but nice bounce right there. Right, came right into the pocket, bounces for 90 cents. All right. And guess what NVIDIA does? Okay, you can just rinse and repeat NVIDIA SPY. Okay, so my candles, Gurmit. All right, so red candle. I used to use orange candles. I still use orange. Right, but I just sometimes I change the colors from time to time. So red means bearish, green means bullish. The bright green full body means engulfing. Yellow candle means indecisive. If you see this like yellow candle there, it means like it's indecisive. Indecision. So this is how I have my settings. So from time to time I like to change it. Right, just keep it fresh for my eyes. So there's the settings. So a nice little scalp there. If you take that scalp, nice scalp. Any questions on YouTube, guys? Any questions on YouTube? Any questions on YouTube before we wrap it up? We'll wrap it up at 11:30. If we're at 150, we'll do a giveaway. Chop, chop, chop is here. Let me know if that answers your questions, Gurmit. All right, the question is, okay, do we finally break this channel? Do we put some pressure on this resistance? And that resistance coincides closely with that quarterly open, monthly open. All right, so sometimes you can see there's no coincidence. So this resistance also coincides with a key level. So it's make or break on this side for the quarter and the month. If we're above that level, we're green on the quarter. If we're below it, we're red. We're at it, so we're flat. So the quarterly action is up for grabs. So this tells you on the month and the quarter is still the monthly right now. So go with the monthly. On the month, there is no clear winner. It's basically a tie game. Okay? In relation to where we opened up, not in relation to last month. Okay? In relation to where we opened up. It's a tie game. It's a tie game. Okay. Can you leave your chart on for a couple hours? I can probably leave it on until 12:30 after we wrap up. I'm streaming from a different office, so I usually leave it up if I'm streaming from home office. I'll leave it up. All right, moment of truth here. Give me your password, team viewer. Right. Actually, that's not a bad idea. All right, that's not a bad idea. Not to give you the password, but for me to remote access and shut down the stream. All right. Is there some legitimacy behind this break? Take that 50 bounce with the VWAP. You're in good position. We will. Last few weeks have been a fight, but glad we finished strong week. Thanks for all you do, George. Have a great weekend. You too, real quiet. It's going to be a fight, guys. We've been talking about these 2 months coming up. It's going to be tough, especially if you decided to push through these months to learn and to put yourself in position. All right, it's like growing. Growing is very uncomfortable. There's never going to be a time when you're growing where it's going to be comfortable, right? It's going to push you. Right, when you think of growth, your bones are stretching. Okay, so it's going to stretch you, it's going to push you to the limit. But on the other side, you will, get better. Right, you will get better. So tremendous job on fighting through it, grinding through it. And trust me, real quiet, when the conditions when they return back to normal, and you've been through this, it will become a little simpler. Not easy, right? Will be a little simpler. Okay, nice break there. So that 50% retrace and that VWAP, price comes to that territory, goes double bottom, bounces, comes into resistance, and finally breaks that resistance. Okay, so the channel has finally been broken. Now we're resuming back the upside. So what are the couple of approaches you can take to enter this trade? If you're a breakout trader, you're existing right there. All right, if you're taking it off support, 50-50, you're taking the calls right there. Maybe you're shedding at this point and then using runners. If you're a breakout trader, you're first targeting this, guys, from here to here. The key levels are there. From that open, that monthly open to that PMH. That's your runway. Okay, that right there is a 3-minute workday. You take the break, 1, 2, 3, boom, boom, boom. That's 90 cents. Okay, that's upwards of 35 to 55%. Depending on the exact entry, depending on a couple other things. Now Nvidia's starting to grow as well. Okay. All right, we're officially in third shift, guys. Third shift, second shift, took one trade, took Nvidia, worked out nicely. 3 trades today, 2 worked in our favor, 1 stopped out. Only 2 tickers traded today, Meta and Nvidia. And SPY had the best move of the week today. Okay, SPY had the best move of the week for that break today. If you don't take profit, just look at that, guys. Right, this is going to test your ability to take profit. Okay, you don't take profit at 90 cents, you blink 2 times, 3 times, you're in a negative. Okay, that's the nature of the conditions. Webull is doing everything they can to get me to trade events. Right, they're giving free vouchers. All right, they're just trying to get you hooked. They're trying. They are trying. Convenient how they call it event contracts. Any questions on YouTube, guys? Any questions? Let me check the YouTube chat real quick. As always, thank you for tuning in, guys. Hopefully you found value from today. Have you been tuning in all week? And this content resonates with you, and you're looking to accelerate your learning, make sure to join our Discord. All that is available. Go to smartactiontrade.com. Pin in the chat. If you're looking to get momentum indicator, Shockwave 2.0, Shockwave 1.0, right? You can also get that. That's available. Okay, you can take a screenshot. You can take a QR code shot of. You can take a picture of the QR code on screen or go to the description. Okay, but everything is available at smartactiontrade.com. If you're in the monthly, you're looking to upgrade the yearly, okay, use the code TEAM. Okay, use the code TEAM Strikers. Right, everything is available at smartactiontrade.com. If no questions, guys, we'll look to wrap it up here as always. Thank you for tuning in. Is it also OPEX? Yes, today's OPEX. George, have a question. How do you manage your runners accordingly? That's a good question. Runners, it's a hit or miss sometimes. Runners. So let's just do an example. Okay, so say for example, this trade, I see a setup like this. Okay, I have a level. I'm looking to play the breakdown. Most of the time it depends on what contracts I have. Okay, say this is the setup. Okay, if it's 0 DTEs, if I start to get the breakdown, by the time it gets to this pivot, where I start to see some healthy double digits, I'm going to take a majority off. Okay, once it gets there, I'm taking a majority off. Why? Because there's a good chance, all right, there's a good chance, okay, that we can start to get, okay, buyers that try to step in and push it back higher. And those can impact those contracts negatively. So I'll take a majority off. All right? Most of the time. And then after that, it's just a game of runners. Okay, so now maybe I might put my runner stop here, depending how far away we're from it. Maybe it might be a subjective stop based on a percentage. And then now with the runners is just looking to get it to the next point. If I have 3 points I want to scale it, I'll scale it again here. If it's just a majority and then a close, okay, then I'll look to take it all the way to the floor if it continues to show weakness. All right, so ideally, okay, 15 to 25%, right, even 15 to 30% off there. And then with the runners, let them go where they want to go. 60%, 70%, 100%, that's fine. And now question becomes, what am I willing to risk? All right, is it, do I want to just take some profits as well? Maybe it's a double digit risk. So, hey, you know what? I'm willing to give back some of the profit from the runner. Okay, if you're up 40%, you're willing to say, hey, you know what? I'll take it off at plus 20%, or do you want to risk it to near break even or even negative? All right, so those are some things that's when it starts to get a little confusing. But there's no one size fits all approach. What I would recommend, is whenever you do take trades, take a majority off. Get used to paying a trader. Okay, it will take the pressure off your trading. Because if you do that for a month consecutively, okay, even if you just close the whole position there, if you just do it for a month to get the muscle memory, to build that muscle memory, you'll just be fine. You're not going to be thinking about, the trade that you could have managed and you could have got more. All right, the FOMO will start to quickly disappear when you put profits in your pocket. Okay, when you put profits in your pocket, FOMO will start to fade quickly. Okay, because now I'm not thinking about a trade that I took in April that if I held, I could have got 200%. Right? All I care about is, okay, you know what? The profit was secured. And I left with more than I came with for that month. All right? So I would say if you're a beginner, don't even concern yourself with runners. Just get used to taking profit. Get used to taking profit and get used to cutting your trades when you're wrong. That's it. When you do that over the course of time consistently and it becomes muscle memory, then you can say, let me add an additional component to my game. Let me add this move to my arsenal. Right? And then when you do that, there's nuance with how you want to manage the runners. But for beginners or people who are still struggling to take profit, still trying to close trades, the last thing you want to do is use runners and then mix everything up. All right, and when you're taking the runners, take a majority off. Okay, I've been in trades before. I've learned where, you know what, I take half off and it goes the other way. And I don't like that. So I was half right. Right? And over time that also eats at your P&L. So what I've found is take a majority off. Take upwards of 70% off. Just give yourself just a very tight room for runners. So if it goes the other way, there's no real consequence. But if it continues to go in your direction, your desired direction, it's just icing on the cake. You don't want to give back. Okay, that's what works best for me. All right, what works best for you, you have to find that. We have to find out. But that's what I would say. Okay, if you're still in the beginning, runners don't exist. When you start to get past that, you're confident in your profit taking, you're confident in your risk management, cutting trades when you're supposed to, then you can start to add runners into the equation. When you start to add runners into the equation, what I would say best thing is take a majority off. If you're using 10 contracts, take 7 or 8 off. If you're using 100 contracts, take 70, 80 off. All right, you can adjust it to what you like. That's what I found works best. All right, because it's no fun to be half right and the runners go the other way, it goes negative, and then when you are right, it just got canceled out. Okay? When you want to get paid if you're right. Whether it goes all the way or it goes halfway, even if you're halfway right, you want to make sure you get paid. You don't have to always be very right to get paid. Right? So put yourself in position to get paid, whether you're a little bit right, halfway right, all the way right. Not just all the way home run right. Okay? So think of it like that. And if you're wrong, you're wrong. There's no halfway wrong. There's no you notice how the dynamic changes? There's one way to be wrong, multiple ways to be right. The reason is because in this game, okay, there's more ways to lose than there are more ways to win. So to counter that, you have to get used to paying yourself in different ways and having one way to lose. Okay? That's basically the counter to the logic the market operates on. Okay? So that's how I answer that question. That's a great question that you do ask. Okay? What broker do you recommend? Webull. Webull, I would say, has smooth execution. I like the execution on Webull. Very user-friendly. You can use TOS as well. There's a handful of brokers out there. But what I recommend is go and open up all the brokerage accounts. Open them all up. It doesn't cost you anything. All right, have 3, 5, 6. Just open it up. There's no downside. Have one for scalping. Have one for long term. Have one for day trading. Okay. One swing trading. You want to try to get organized. All right. So I like Webull for scalping. I like their Turbo Trader feature. Very quick executions. Good week for me. Tremendous job. Sherman. Way to crush it on IWM. SPY as well. IWM SPY carried the weight. Tremendous job. Right, and I promise you guys, the fruits, okay, if you just play your game If you just run your race, they'll start to add up. And make those withdrawals frequent, guys. Frequently withdraw. Of course, you have to set some aside for tax. All right, but you want to frequently withdraw. All right, because it's not gonna. Let me tell you, it's not gonna be tangible. It's gonna be a game. It's gonna be a game to you forever, as long as you don't put cold hard cash in your hands. Okay, get one green week. Withdraw the cash, and put it in your hand, and then it will be full circle. And then you'll start to realize, okay, this is a real thing. Because until you actually withdraw and feel it, it's just like numbers on a screen. And it's gamified. All right, it's gamified. But once you can break the gamification and you start to withdraw, all right, we have some traders who like to withdraw for 15 days. All right. Trader has discussed how he likes to use that strategy. Every 2 weeks, withdraw. Okay, get your account back to a certain balance. All right, the objective is not to grow your account infinitely. Okay, it's not just infinite growth forever and never take a withdrawal. All right, treat it the same way as a business, guys. And I promise you, when you start to do that, right, when you come back to the markets, you'll say, hey, you know what, this is real. Because you've closed the full loop. All right, you can't close a full loop if you're just constantly clicking buttons and you never, it's just virtual. Okay, yeah, move it to your vacay account, make it turn into something tangible. Okay. And then it will start to really, really, really resonate. All right, and you'll think that you're locked in, but now you will really lock in. You'll say, okay, all right, I understand now. Okay, so we'll leave it on that note, guys. Hopefully you guys found value. Again, if you're looking to join our community, make sure to go to smartactiontrade.com. All the tools and resources are available to you. Okay, whether you need one-on-one individualized plan, we can go to the coaching side. If you need courses, okay, self-paced courses. I know we've been putting the boot camp on hold for a long time. All right, so let the summer season die down, and we'll get back to our boot camp schedule. For those of you who do have boot camp tickets, that's going to get honored. The ones who did win, you're going to have your boot camp ticket. If you're looking to take a course over the weekend, this is the one to take. Okay, you get the course bundle. It gets you up to speed. Day trading, technical analysis, support, resistance, trends, chart patterns, options basics, A+ setups, risk management, psychology, journaling, reviewing, back testing, forward testing. Everything is in here. If you're in our community, you have access to that as well. If you're looking to join our community, guys, everyone should be in the free tier. Free tier costs you nothing, but you get a ton of free resources. All right, 24/7 stock market news feed. You have access to, of course, the live trading on YouTube at no charge. All I ask is you subscribe and like. And you also have access to a ton of resources and tools there as well that are completely for free. When you're ready to level up, okay, make sure to join the monthly. There is a price increase coming around the corner, so make sure to lock in. Once you lock in, you're grandfathered in. Right, that's the price you pay. Right, that's the price you pay. You're not going to experience any inflation. What do you have access to? Live trading, screen share. Every single day, we go over the setups. We go over trade ideas. I walk you through the setups. I try to provide a rationale behind those setups. We do Q&A. We go through the whole process, pre-market prep. You have access to the course, options data. You have access to my key level indicator. You have access to now 3,000 plus hours of past streams, high win rate ideas. You name it, we got it. If we don't have it, we'll get it. All right. If you're ready to level up and start to save on your monthly, level up to the yearly. All right, $689. You have access to all the features, plus a one-on-one coaching call, plus a future bootcamp ticket. If you want access to the indicator, all right. So today, if you had Shockwave, all right, if you got it today, okay, I'm not just cherry picking. All right, here's the setup. Take the calls there. It pays for itself. All right. So if you have access to that open and range framework, trade assist engine, built for busy traders. Okay. My job is not to tell you to leave your full-time job and just become quote unquote free. Okay. That's not the objective. The objective is to make trading fit your lifestyle currently, not for you to bend over backwards to fit your lifestyle into trading. All right. You want trading to integrate seamlessly into the things you're doing already. All right. So you can do that by utilizing the tool, utilizing the latest indicator, which gives you the ideas every single day, bullish, bearish, non-biased ideas, and it assists you in managing the position, where to take profits, what your risk is, where you're going to get stopped out, and so on and so forth. All that is available to you quarterly, yearly, or lifetime access. If you're looking to purchase the yearly or get lifetime access to the indicator, okay, the summer special is the SAT starter pack. This will have you covered for the rest of the year. This will have you covered for 12 months. Access to the community, indicator, coaching call, boot camp ticket. Okay, that's available to you. All right, so make sure to take advantage. Once we start to get out of the summer months, this will be no longer available. Okay, so wherever you are, everyone should be in the free tier, and you should want to incrementally start to work your way up. Okay. Any questions, guys? Any questions? And all that is available at smartactiontrade.com. Okay? Smartactiontrade.com. That's the official site. So make sure to visit the site and take advantage of all the tools and resources, guys. Okay? The tools and resources. I can't take trades for you. I can't make decisions for you. But I can give you the tools, the resources, the proper training to put yourself in position. All right? That's all it is, guys. All right? Our community is based on very simple principle. All right, teaching you how to do it on your own. You might be thinking, hey, that doesn't benefit you. Actually, it benefits our community. Okay, because now we have a bunch of capable traders who've been through the process, who can now help one another, which fortifies the community, rather than me giving you the signals and not telling you what the rationale behind the setup is, and just gatekeeping. All right. The whole point is to get you properly trained, to teach you how to fish. Okay, so we can have the most profitable community, okay, ever. That's the goal. And we're going to do this shift by shift, week by week, trade by trade, trader at a time. Okay, that's our task. That's my objective every day. All right, so that's the goal. All right. So again, guys, make sure to take advantage of that. It is the weekend, so look to adjust one thing over the weekend. I have a couple of things to adjust, especially my entry models. I haven't been as patient this week, but regardless, still able to finish the week strong. And the cool thing is, when you are still not trading at to the best of your ability, okay, break even or still green. That means you've made tremendous strides. All right, even if you're break even, small red, and you have been trading atrociously, you're just not finding anything. That's a really, really good sign, guys. Because if you rewind to a time where these conditions existed, more than likely these conditions would have caused you to blow up. So that is tremendous, tremendous, tremendous growth. Okay, so make sure to make the proper adjustments over the weekend. Same protocols, guys. Take some time off the charts. Enjoy the weather. Enjoy the pool, whatever you have access to, the beach, whatever it is, guys. Get some good rest, recharge, and we're going to need all of your energy to navigate next week. We have FOMC. We have a handful of things as well. We're jumping into earnings season as well. Okay, we're getting deep into earnings season now, starting to kick off. All right. On that note, guys, thank you for tuning in. We'll see you guys on Monday. Stay safe, and God bless each one of you.
Jesus is the answer. Oh. When the charts went dark, what? When the road got narrow, oh. He was there. Jesus is the answer. I spent years chasing numbers on a glowing screen. Thinking one more win would finally make me complete. Running after green candles like they could save my window sitting on a throne. Built my house on sand. Watch the tide roll in. Learning every earthly kingdom has an end. Some valleys look so deep, I couldn't see the light. Some storms got so strong, I couldn't wing the fight. Oh, but every time I thought my story might be done, I felt the hand of mercy say, my child, keep
Walking on,
not because I'm worthy,
not because I'm worthy,
not because I'm strong,
not because I'm strong,
but because the shepherd
never change.
never leaves his own. Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the way,
The anchor in the storm when the market starts to sway. Through the highs and lows,
through the joy and pain,
the cross still stands when
everything goes fake.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Yesterday and now, the King who walks beside us through every valley found. Yeah, there were nights I sat alone.
Every man
There's fear inside my chest.
so bold,
Questions without answers.
Texas,
Battles without rest. The shadow of death felt close enough to touch.
but Psalm 23.
Kept reminding me to trust. Though I walk through valleys dark as midnight skies, I will fear no evil, for you're right by my side. The rod and the staff, the comfort and grace, the God of resurrection meeting me in that place. I've seen doors swing open that no man could unlock. I've seen peace show up when logic said it could not. I've seen mercy,
Life story I could never write.
turning broken chances into testimony and
Jesus is the
life.
answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the way.
The anchor in the storm when the
Market spot this way.
through the highs and lows.
Through the joy and pain,
The car still stands when
everything else fades.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Yesterday and now, the King who walks beside us through every valley's found.
If you're tired of running,
If you're carrying change
if you're searching for purpose,
in success or anything,
the good news is
the
simple.
debt has been paid. Jesus took our place upon the cross that day.
3 days later,
The stone rolled away.
death lost the victory.
The grave could not stay.
Whoever believes
Whoever will come
will find forgiveness in the Father's
I
Son.
still trade, I still work, I still plan and prepare, but my hope is eternal and the outcome is there. Because fortunes rise and fortunes fall.
Christ remains Lord over all.
The market can give,
The market can take
but eternity rests.
on a different step.
So when the candles flicker,
And uncertainty grows.
so remember the one who's already in control.
The Lamb who was slain,
The King who will
the
reign
Alpha and Omega.
forever the same.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the way.
The anchor in the storm.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Ever and ever.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the way.
Jesus is the answer.
The answer.
Jesus is the
Jesus is the
answer.
answer. Though I walk through the valley,
You are with me.
shadows around me.
You are with me.
Through the valley,
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Forever and ever. Amen.
Jesus is the answer.
When the charts went dark, when the road got narrow, he was there.
Jesus is the answer.
I spent years chasing numbers on a glowing screen,
Going stream,
thinking one more win would finally make me complete.
made me complete.
Running after green candles like they could save my soul.
Like my soul.
The prophets make a poor God when they're sitting on a throne. Build my house on sand,
House on sand,
watch the tide roll in.
watch the tide roll in.
Learning every earthly
Every king,
kingdom has an end.
come has a name.
Some valleys look so deep,
So deep,
I couldn't see the light.
couldn't see the light.
Some storms got so strong,
Souls got so
strong I couldn't wing the fight.
Wing the fight.
But every time I thought my story might be done, I felt the hand of mercy say, my child, keep
walking on.
not because I'm worthy,
Not because I'm worthy,
not because I'm strong.
everything goes fixed.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Yesterday and now, the King who walks beside us through every valley found. Yeah, there were nights I sat alone.
Every man
There's fear inside my chest.
so old.
Questions without answers.
Texas,
Battles without rest. The shadow of death felt close enough to touch.
but Psalm 23.
Kept reminding me to trust. Though I walk through valleys dark as midnight skies, I will fear no evil, for you're right by my side. The rod and the staff, the comfort and grace, the God of resurrection meeting me in that place.
I've seen doors swing open that no man could unlock.
I've seen peace show up when logic said it could not. I've seen mercy,
Life story I could never write.
turning broken chances into testimony and life.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the way.
The anchor in the storm when the
Market's fucked his way.
through the highs and lows.
Through the joy and pain,
The car still stands when
everything else fades.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Yesterday and now, the King who walks
Beside us through every valley's found. If you're tired of running,
if you're carrying change,
if you're searching for purpose,
in success or anything,
the good news is simple.
the debt has been paid.
Jesus took our place upon the cross that day. 3 days later,
The stone rolled away.
death lost its victory.
The grave could not stay.
Whoever believes
Whoever will come,
will find forgiveness in the Father's
I
Son.
still trade, I still work, I still plan and prepare, but my hope is eternal, the outcome is there. Because fortunes rise and fortunes fall.
Christ remains Lord over all.
The market can give,
The market can take
but eternity rests.
on a different step.
So when the candles flicker,
And uncertainty grows.
I remember the one who's already in control.
The Lamb who was slain,
The King who will
the
reign
Alpha and Omega.
forever the same.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the way.
The anchor in the storm.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Ever and ever.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the way.
Jesus is the answer.
The answer.
Jesus is the
Jesus is the
answer.
answer. Though I walk through the valley,
You are with me.
shadows around me.
You are with me.
Through the valley,
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Forever and ever. Amen.
Jesus is the answer.
When the charts went dark, when the road got narrow, he was there.
Jesus is the answer.
I spent years chasing numbers on a glowing screen,
Going stream,
thinking one more win would finally make me complete.
made me complete.
Running after green candles like they could save my soul.
Like my soul.
The prophets make a poor God when they're sitting on a throne. Build my house on sand,
House on sand.
watch the tide roll in,
Watch the tide roll in.
learning every earthly
Every king
kingdom has an end.
come has an end.
Some valleys look so deep,
So deep,
I couldn't see the light.
couldn't see the light.
Some storms got so strong,
Souls got so
strong I couldn't win the fight.
Win the fight.
But every time I thought my story might be done, I felt the hand of mercy say, my child, keep
walking on.
not because I'm worthy,
Not because I'm worried,
not because I'm strong,
not because I'm strong,
but because the shepherd
never share.
never leaves his own.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer,
Jesus is the way.
the anchor in the storm when the market
Markets start to sway.
through the highs and lows.
Through the joy and pain,
The cross still stands when
everything goes fixed.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Yesterday and now, the King who walks beside us through every valley found. Yeah, there were nights I sat alone.
Every man
There's fear inside my chest.
so old.
Questions without answers.
Texas,
Battles without rest. The shadow of death felt close enough to touch.
but Psalm 23.
Kept reminding me to trust. Though I walk through valleys dark as midnight skies, I will fear no evil, for you're right by my side. The rod and the staff, the comfort and grace, the God of resurrection meeting me in that place.
I've seen doors swing open that no man could unlock.
I've seen peace show up when logic said it could not. I've seen mercy,
Life story I could never write.
turning broken chances into testimony and life.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer. anchor in the storm when the
Markets start to sway.
through the highs and lows.
Through the joy and pain.
The car still stands where
Everything else fades.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
He's today and now. The King who walks
Beside us through every valley's found. If you're tired of running,
if you're carrying change,
if you're searching for purpose,
in success or anything,
the good news is simple.
the debt has been paid.
Jesus took our place upon the cross that day. 3 days later,
The stone rolled away.
death lost its victory.
The grave could not stay.
Whoever believes
Whoever will come
will find forgiveness in the Father's
I
Son.
still trade, I still work, I still plan and prepare, but my hope is eternal and the outcome is there. Because fortunes rise and fortunes fall.
Christ remains Lord over all.
The market can give,
The market can take
but eternity rests.
on a different step.
So when the candles flicker,
And uncertainty grows.
so remember the one who's already in control.
The Lamb who was slain.
The King who will reign
The Alpha and Omega.
forever the same.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the way.
The anchor in the storm.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Ever and ever.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the way.
Jesus is the answer.
The answer.
Jesus is the
Jesus is the answer.
answer.
Though I walk through the valley,
You are with me.
shadows surround me.
You are with me.
Through the valley,
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Forever and ever. Amen.
Jesus is the answer.
When the charge went dark, when the road got narrow, he was there.
Jesus is the answer.
Oh, I spent years chasing numbers on a glowing screen,
Going stream,
thinking one more win would finally make me complete.
made me complete.
Running after green candles like they could save my soul.
Like my soul.
The prophets make a poor God when they're sitting on a throne. Build my house on sand,
House on sand.
watch the tide roll in,
The tide roll in.
learning every earthly
Every king
kingdom has an end.
come has an end.
Some valleys look so deep,
So deep,
I couldn't see the light.
couldn't see the light.
Some storms got so strong,
Souls got so
strong I couldn't win the fight.
Win the fight.
Oh, but every time I thought my story might be done, I felt the hand of mercy say, my child, keep.
walking on.
Not because I'm worthy,
Not because I'm worried.
not because I'm strong,
Not because I'm strong.
but because the shepherd
Never share.
never leaves his own.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer,
Jesus is the way.
the anchor in the storm when the market
Markets start to sway.
through the highs and lows.
Through the joy and pain.
The cross still stands when
Everything else fades.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Yesterday and now, the King who walks beside us through every valley found. Yeah, there were nights I sat alone.
Every man
There's fear inside my chest.
so bold.
Questions without answers.
Answers.
Battles without rest. The shadow of death felt close enough to touch.
But Psalm 23.
Kept reminding me to trust. Though I walk through valleys dark as midnight skies, I will fear no evil, for you're right by my side. The rod and the staff, the comfort and grace, the God of resurrection meeting me in that place.
I've seen doors swing open that no man could unlock.
I've seen peace show up when logic said it could not. I've seen mercy
Life story I could never write.
turning broken chances into testimony and life.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the way.
The anchor in the storm when the
Markets start to sway.
through the highs and lows.
Through the joy and pain.
The car still stands where
Everything else fades.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
He's today and now, the King who walks
Beside us through every valley's found. If you're tired of running,
if you're carrying change,
if you're searching for purpose,
in success or anything,
the good news is simple.
that has been paid.
Jesus took our place upon the cross that day. 3 days later,
The stone rolled away.
death lost its victory.
The grave could not stay.
Whoever believes
Whoever will come
will find forgiveness in the Father's
I
Son.
still trade, I still work, I still plan and prepare, but my hope is eternal and the outcome is there. Because fortunes rise and fortunes fall.
Christ remains Lord over all.
The Lord can in control.
The Lamb who was slain,
The King who will reign,
the Alpha and Omega,
forever the same.
Jesus is the answer,
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the way,
The anchor in the storm.
Jesus is the answer,
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer,
Forever and ever.
Jesus is the answer,
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the way,
Jesus is the answer.
the answer,
Jesus is the
Jesus is the
answer.
answer. Though I walk through the valley,
You are with me.
shadows around me,
You are with me.
through the valley,
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Forever and ever. Amen.
Jesus is the answer.
When the charts went dark, when the road got narrow, he was there.
Jesus is the answer.
I spent years chasing numbers on a glowing screen,
Going free,
thinking one more win would finally make me complete.
made me complete,
Burning after green candles like they could save my soul.
like my soul.
The prophets make a poor God when they're sitting on a throne. Build my house on sand,
House on sand,
watch the tide roll in,
watch the tide roll in.
learning every earthly
Every king,
kingdom has an end.
come has an end.
Some valleys look so deep,
So deep,
I couldn't see the light.
couldn't see the light.
Some storms got so strong,
Souls got so
strong I couldn't win the fight.
Win the fight.
Oh, but every time I thought my story might be done, I felt the hand of mercy say, my child,
keep walking on.
not because I'm worthy,
Not because I'm worried,
not because I'm strong,
not because I'm strong,
but because the shepherd
never share.
never leaves his own.
Jesus is the answer,
Jesus is the answer,
Jesus is the way.
the anchor in the storm when the market starts to sway. Through the highs and lows,
Through the joy and pain,
the cross still stands when
everything goes fake.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Yesterday and now, the King who walks beside us through every valley found. Yeah, there were nights I sat alone,
Every man,
there fear inside my chest,
so bold,
questions without answers,
answers,
battles without rest. The shadow of death felt close enough to touch,
but Psalm 23,
kept reminding me to trust. Though I walk through valleys dark as midnight skies, I will fear no evil, for you're right by my side. The rod and the staff, the comfort and grace, the God of resurrection meeting me in that place. I've seen doors swing open that no man could unlock. I've seen peace show up when logic said it could not. I've seen mercy,
life story I could never write.
turning broken chapters into testimony and life.
Jesus is the answer,
Jesus is the answer,
Jesus is the way.
the anchor in the storm when the market
Market's about this way,
through the highs and lows,
through the joy and pain,
the call still stands when
everything else fades.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Yesterday and now, the King who walks beside us through every valley's found.
If you're tired of running,
If you're carrying change,
if you're searching for purpose,
in success or in fame,
the good news is simple.
the debt has been paid. Jesus took our place upon the cross that day.
3 days later,
The stone rolled away.
death lost the victory.
The grave could not stay.
Whoever believes
Whoever will come
will find forgiveness in the Father's
I
Son.
still trade, I still work, I still plan and prepare, but my hope is eternal and the outcome is dead. Because fortunes rise and fortunes fall.
Christ remains Lord over all.
The market can give,
The market can take
but eternity rests.
on a different step.
So when the candles flicker,
And uncertainty grows.
I remember the one who's already in control.
The Lamb who was slain,
The King who will reign
the Alpha and Omega.
forever the same.
Jesus is the answer,
Jesus is the answer,
Jesus is the way.
the anchor in the storm.
Jesus is the answer,
Jesus is the answer,
Jesus is the answer.
ever and ever.
Jesus is the answer,
Jesus is the answer,
Jesus is the way.
Jesus is the answer,
The answer,
Jesus is the
Jesus is the answer.
answer.
Though I walk through the valley,
You are with me,
shadows around me,
you are with me.
through the valley,
When the charts went dark, when the road got narrow, he was there.
Jesus is the answer.
I spent years chasing numbers on a glowing screen, thinking one more win would finally make me complete. Running after green candles like they could save my soul. The prophets make a poor God when they're sitting on a throne. Build my house on sand, watch the tide roll in. Learning every earthly kingdom has an end. Some valleys look so deep, I couldn't see the light. Some storms got so strong, I couldn't wing the fight. But every time I thought my story might be done, I felt the hand of mercy say, my child, keep
Walking on.
not because I'm worthy,
Not because I'm worried.
not because I'm strong,
Not because I'm strong.
but because the shepherd
Never share.
never leaves his own. Jesus is the answer,
Jesus is the way.
the anchor in the storm when the mountains start to sway. Through the highs and lows,
Through the joy and pain.
the cross still stands when
Everything goes fake.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Yesterday and now, the King who walks beside us through every valley found. Yeah, there were nights I sat alone.
Every man.
There fear inside my chest.
So bold.
Questions without answers.
Answers.
Battles without rest. The shadow of death felt close enough to touch.
But Psalm 23.
Kept reminding me to trust. Though I walk through valleys dark as midnight skies, I will fear no evil, for you're right by my side. The rod and the staff, the comfort and grace, the God of resurrection meeting me in that place. I've seen doors swing open that no man could unlock. I've seen peace show up when logic said it could not. I've seen mercy,
Life story I could never write.
turning broken chances into testimony and
Jesus is the
life.
answer.
Jesus is the answer,
Jesus is the way.
the anchor in the storm when the
Markets fought this way.
through the highs and lows,
Through the joy and pain.
the call still stands when
Everything else fades.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Yesterday and now, the King who walks beside us through every valley's found.
If you're tired of running.
If you're carrying change,
If you're searching for purpose.
in success or in fame,
The good news is
the
simple.
debt has been paid. Jesus took our place upon the cross that day.
3 days later.
The stone rolled away.
Death lost its victory.
The grave could not stay.
Whoever believes
Whoever will come
will find forgiveness in the Father's
I
Son.
still trade, I still work, I still plan and prepare, but my hope is eternal and the outcome is dead. Because fortunes rise and fortunes fall,
Christ remains Lord over all.
the market can give,
The market can take
but eternity rests.
on a different step.
So when the candles flicker,
And uncertainty grows.
I remember the one who's already in control,
The Lamb who was slain.
the King who will reign
The Alpha and Omega.
forever the sun.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer,
Jesus is the way.
the anchor in the storm.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Ever and ever.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the way.
Jesus is the answer.
The answer.
Jesus is the
Jesus is the answer.
answer.
Though I walk through the valley.
You are with me.
Shadows around me.
You are with me.
Through the valley.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Forever and ever.
Amen.
Amen.
Jesus is the answer.
When the charts went dark, when the road got narrow, he was there.
Jesus is the answer.
I spent years chasing numbers on a glowing screen,
Going free.
thinking one more win would finally make me complete.
Made me complete.
Running after green candles like they could save my soul.
Like my soul.
The prophets make a poor God when they're sitting on a throne. Build my house on sand,
House on sand.
watch the tide roll in.
Watch the tide roll in.
Learning every earthly
Every king.
kingdom has an end.
Come has an end.
Some valleys look so deep,
So deep.
I couldn't see the light.
Couldn't see the light.
Some storms got so strong, my chest. So cold. Questions without answers. Battles without rest. The shadow of death felt close enough to touch.
But Psalm 23
kept reminding me to trust. So I walk through valleys dark as midnight skies. I will fear no evil, for you're right by my side.
the rod and the staff, the comfort and grace.
The God of resurrection meeting me in that place.
I've seen doors swing open that no man could unlock.
I've seen peace show up when logic said it could not. I've seen mercy,
Life story I could never write.
turning broken chances into testimony and life.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the way.
The anchor in the storm when the
Market's about this way.
through the highs and lows.
Through the joy and pain,
The call still stands when
everything else stays.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
He's the day and now, the King who walks
Beside us through every valley's found. If you're tired of running,
if you're carrying change,
if you're searching for purpose,
in success or in fame.
the good news is simple.
Debt has been paid.
Jesus took our place upon the cross that day. 3 days later,
The stone rolled away.
death lost its victory.
The grave could not stay.
Whoever believes
Whoever will come
will find forgiveness in the Father's
I
Son.
still trade, I still work, I still plan and prepare, but my hope isn't found in the outcome instead. Because fortunes rise and fortunes fall.
Christ remains Lord over all.
The market can give,
The market can take
but eternity rests.
on a different step.
So when the candles flicker,
And uncertainty grows.
so remember the one who's already in control.
The Lamb who was slain,
The King who will reign
the Alpha and Omega.
forever the sun.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the way.
The anchor in the storm.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Ever and ever.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the way.
Jesus is the answer.
The answer.
Jesus is the
Jesus is the
answer.
answer. Though I walk through the valley,
You are with me.
shadows surround me.
You are with me.
Through the valley,
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Forever and ever.
Amen.
Amen.
Jesus is the answer.
When the charge went dark, when the road got narrow, he was there.
Jesus is the answer.
I spent years chasing numbers on a glowing screen,
Going free,
thinking one more win would finally make me complete.
made me complete.
Running after green candles like they could save my soul.
Like my soul.
But prophets make a poor God when they're sitting on a throne. Build my house on sand,
House on sand.
watch the tide roll in,
Watch the tide roll in.
learning every earthly
Every king
kingdom has an end.
come has an end.
Some valleys look so deep,
So deep,
I couldn't see the light.
couldn't see the light.
Some storms got so strong,
Souls got so
strong I couldn't win the fight.
Win the fight.
But every time I thought my story might be done, I felt the hand of mercy say, my child,
keep walking on.
not because I'm worthy,
Not because I'm worried,
not because I'm strong,
not because I'm strong,
but because the shepherd
never share.
never leaves his own.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer,
Jesus is the way.
the anchor in the storm when the
Market's
market's
about to sway.
through the highs and lows.
Through the joy and pain,
The cross still stands when
everything else fades.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Yesterday and now, the King who walks beside us
Through every valley found.
Yeah, there were nights I sat alone,
Every man
there fear inside my chest,
so old.
questions without answers,
Answers.
battles without rest. The shadow of death felt close enough to touch,
But Psalm 23
kept reminding me to trust. So I walk through valleys dark as midnight skies. I will fear no evil, for you're right by my side.
the rod and the staff, the comfort and grace.
The God of resurrection meeting me in that place.
I've seen doors swing open that no man could unlock.
I've seen peace show up when logic said it could not. I've seen mercy,
Life story I could never write.
turning broken chances into testimony and
Jesus is the
life.
answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the way.
The anchor in the storm when the
Market's about this way.
through the highs and lows.
Through the joy and pain,
The call still stands when
everything else stays.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
He's the day and now, the King who every valley's found.
If you're tired of running,
If you're carrying change,
if you're searching for purpose,
in success or in fame,
the good news is simple.
the debt has been paid. Jesus took our place upon the cross that day.
3 days later,
The stone rolled away.
death lost the victory.
The grave could not stay.
Whoever believes
Whoever will come
will find forgiveness in the Father's
I
Son.
still trade, I still work, I still plan and prepare, but my hope is eternal and the outcome is there. Because fortunes rise and fortunes fall.
Christ remains Lord over all.
The market can give,
The market can take
but eternity rests.
on a different stage.
So when the candles flicker,
And uncertainty grows.
I remember the one who's already in control.
The Lamb who was slain,
The King who will reign
the Alpha and Omega.
forever the same.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the way.
He anchor in the storm.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Forever and ever.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the way.
Jesus is the answer.
The answer.
Jesus is the
Jesus is the
answer.
answer. Though I walk through the valley,
You are with me.
shadows around me.
You are with me.
Through the valley,
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Forever and ever.
Amen.
Amen.
Jesus is the answer.
When the charts went dark, when the road got narrow, he was there.
Jesus is the answer.
Oh, I spent years chasing numbers on a glowing screen,
Going free,
thinking one more win would finally make me complete.
made me complete.
Running after green candles like they could save my soul.
Like my soul.
The prophets make a poor God when they're sitting on a throne. Build my house on sand,
House on sand.
watch the tide roll in,
Watch the tide roll in.
learning every earthly
Every king
kingdom has an end.
come has an end.
Some valleys look so deep,
So deep,
I couldn't see the light.
couldn't see the light.
Some storms got so strong,
Souls got so
strung I couldn't win the fight.
Win the fight.
Oh, but every time I thought my story might be done, I felt the hand of mercy say, my child,
keep walking on.
not because I'm worthy,
Not because I'm worthy,
not because I'm